you watch it yet or no? Friday's SmackDown. You haven't watched it, have you?
We got powerbomb to the table.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gilbert, we're
Well,
watching
you know what?
something.
I watched it again real quick because you mentioned that he didn't sleep for a few days, and I saw it in his face. I'm like, yeah, he looks terrible.
Paul Heyman deserves an Emmy for an Emmy, an Academy Award, whatever. Like, we all know movies today suck. Go watch what Paul Heyman is doing right now. Like, every week he looks terrified. It looks every week like he really gets into the character. It looks like every week he does not sleep a day or two before the show to really look like he looks terrible. He doesn't dye his hair, the little hair that he has back here. Doesn't look like he dyes it right around this time. He lets his 5 o'clock shadow show. Why? Because he's fully embraced in this character. And on Friday, it was Solo's induction to be now the tribal chief, and everybody was on board. All three other members of the bloodline were on board. He turns to Paul Heyman, and they're at Madison Square Garden, mind you, and they ask him, Paul, and I think that's Paul Heyman's hometown. I think he's a New Yorker. They look at him and they say, Paul, are you ready? And then he's like, Solo, I love you, and I do not acknowledge you as my tribe. The stadium erupted, Gilbert, and that led to Solo beating his ass. Jacob Fatu puts him through the table the same way that you remember what the Shield used to do, where Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins would grab him, pick him up, and then Roman Reigns would throw him through. That's exactly what they did to him. Paul Heyman is, like, again, incredible. I don't like all the Solo hate on social media that I've been seeing. I think Solo's done a terrific job. Is he Roman Reigns? No. But what he's doing right now with his character, he's invested. The other members of the bloodline are invested. Jacob Fatu just got added. He's invested. What they're doing with this storyline is incredible, and I really think that they've taken this to a whole new level. They're going to take on at Money in the Bank Roman Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns, the bloodline against Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes in a 6-man tag team match. I'm kind of hoping they add a fourth member to that for Cody's side so that it's 4-on-4, so we can really see Jacob Fatu and we can see the four members go at it. But man, what Paul Heyman's doing, and then Gilbert, there was a storyline where, I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was a year ago. It was Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns for the championship. And he was about to beat Roman, and then all of a sudden, Jimmy stopped him. I think it was 2 years ago. Jimmy stopped him from winning the championship, and he's like, the reason I did that, I don't want you to be like him. I don't want you to fall under their spell. I don't want you to turn into him. 2 years later, everybody thought that it was kind of a dumb angle of why he did that. Now we're seeing why. Solo is power hungry to become the tribal chief, and now he's made himself the tribal chief. Gilbert, I'm telling you right now, that pop when Roman finally comes back is going to be something immaculate. Like, it's going to be crazy. And by the way, all they're doing is saying, we want Roman every single night. Every single time Paul Heyman's out there, we want Roman. We want Roman. Like, he's going to be a kind of an anti-hero slash babyface, but it's going to be amazing when he finally comes back. But right now, what we're watching from Paul Heyman and from the bloodline is incredible. And Gilbert, there's still a lot of members left. There's still Umaga's son is out there. There's still other members of this out there. So we ain't just done yet. I'm telling you, when Paul Heyman said we're only in the 4th inning, he was right. This is right now what they're doing with this storyline is incredible, Gilbert.
Yeah, I thought this whole approach would be kind of boring and maybe a reach and like, okay, you're trying too
I
hard.
told you after WrestleMania. I told you I don't know how this is all going to look. No Roman. Jimmy's now out with an injury. I don't know how it's going to look. Man, I've been pleasantly surprised.
And honestly, it gets credit to Paul Heyman at keeping that going. You know, like you mentioned, he gives it a full effort, keeps it going, and he adds that element of like, okay, you feel like you forget you're watching. It's supposed to be, you know, entertainment, but it's actually he's giving it that kind of spin where you're like, oh, okay, you know, he actually has a connection with Roman Reigns, and we actually have seen it away from the cameras where they actually get along, and so it's not surprising for him not to acknowledge, you know, Solo Sikoa. And then you start thinking too, like, okay, when is Roman gonna come back? Because I feel like, man, this is going so. That's what. But I was gonna say, it's going so well. Like, you can maybe extend it a little further, make people wait a little, marinate a little more. They say in boxing.
Yeah. No, and look, this is my opinion Obviously, whatever people want to say, it's fine. I think at Money in the Bank, Solo should pin Cody Rhodes. That sets up a championship match at SummerSlam, and Roman comes in. I think that unless Roman thinks that he still needs more time. Remember, Roman's father just passed away. So he may be wanting to take more time. Who knows? But I'm just telling you, if it's not at SummerSlam and if it's at another, because I mean, in a sense, SummerSlam, you're gonna sell it no matter what. And I guess it'll sell because everybody's gonna be like, oh, maybe this is where Roman comes out. And if he doesn't come out, well, whatever, we'll wait for the next one. But we're getting to that point where it's getting pretty damn close because WrestleMania just ended, Gilbert, and we're already looking at the next WrestleMania, which is going to be in Las Vegas. So I really think so. What I would do if I was them is if SummerSlam is still the date, then I would have Solo pin Cody Rhodes this weekend and set up a championship match and make that the main event, and then give it that pop that everybody's looking for. That is really gonna shine and they're gonna do great things. So I really think that that's the route that they should take.
I'm not sure if you showed me this, but I saw like one of those, those little flyers that make on social media about, I guess supposedly, you could do a Survivor Series. I guess was that usually like November, right? Or
yeah. I did show it to you.
Yeah, okay, so with the bloodline kind of feud with the kind of the Civil War there. One side you got the Raw and obviously Solo, but that'd be kind of cool. But then in the sense, if you do that, when Roman's coming back. So I'd rather have some kind of mystery before you do that.
Well, and I still think that if they're going to do all this, so on Monday Night Raw right now, I was watching it before we jumped on here, and Chad Gable came out and told Jey Uso, my family did to me what you did to your family. And he's like, I left, I did what your family did. I left the scumbag that was taking advantage of me, and I decided to do my own thing. And I'm like, oh, there it is. There go the little seeds, because Roman's going to need Jey. We already know that. And I know Jay's on a great run right now in the sense of fans love him. He's main eventing Jey Uso. But if this is really going to happen at Survivor Series, I would milk Jey jumping on with them until the very, very end, if not the day of the pay-per-view. Like nobody, like he says, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I don't want to go back with you guys. I hate you guys. I'm doing my own thing. And then maybe last minute he decides to jump on. But I just think that that they're doing a beautiful job with it. And I really think that Triple H, Paul Heyman, even Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, I think all those guys deserve a lot of credit, because right now, the way that Solo's kind of built his guys, they look very scary. But jumping over real quick to the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan. Obviously, Liv Morgan, ever since she won the championship, has been chasing Dominik Mysterio. The dude's one lucky guy. You have Rhea, you have Liv, and then obviously you have your wife at home that you just married in March. So there's a lot of great happening right there. But Gilbert, last Monday, Liv Morgan decided to one up. She wanted to do something nice for the Judgment Day. So she made a tag team match for the chat. She tricked R-Truth into putting up his tag team championships with The Miz against JD McDonough and Finn Balor. And they ended up winning the championships, and she set it up so that they say, hey, you know what? We want you to join us. The only thing is she's getting pushback from El Campeón, Damian Priest. He's not very happy with it. Right now, I actually just saw that he asked Dom, have you talked to Rhea? And he's like, oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. He's like, are you serious? Because I just talked to Rhea, and she's pissed. And he's like, oh, well. And then they walked into the room, and that's when we started this. So I didn't get to see the rest of it. But the storyline is incredible, Gilbert. Why? Because obviously Liv is the champion. Liv is right now the top woman in the WWE, obviously with Bayley as well, the two top. But I think Liv is doing a great job. She's showing her range. She can throw down in the ring and do what she's doing now. So I've been very impressed with that angle. I think they're keeping it spicy. I think the kiss that they shared, the video that they put on social media on YouTube did really well. I think the one with Paul Heyman get thrown through the table was at 40 million over 40 million views. So people are really invested, but it's been pretty interesting to watch the maturation of Liv and the way she's kind of grown, because the last time that she had a run, it really wasn't all that well because of Ronda Rousey, and it was just a mess. Right now, they're telling a really good story with Liv. She keeps on taking shots at Rhea. Like today, she released a shirt that says Liv is always on top. and somebody put wow. Bailey put wow. That's spicy. She's like, I've never heard any complaints. Winky face. I'm like, we're getting ready for Netflix. That's what we're getting ready for. So yeah, very interesting to say the least, Gilbert. But real quick, I will give you my predictions for Money in the Bank, Gilbert. You can give me yours if you would like. I'm going to start off with the World Heavyweight Championship match, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. If Priest wins, Rollins can never get another title shot. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Oh my God, I started off with the hardest one. I'm gonna go with, I think Damian Priest retains. For some reason, and I know people want Seth Rollins to win it, but there's a reason why he dropped it. I know he had the knee injury and everything, but there's a reason why he dropped it. I think Damian will get the win, and Seth won't have another title shot. I think Seth would do well right now to kind of chase, do some other things, and then maybe work his way back. Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. I want to go with Braun Breaker, but I think for some reason Sami Zayn's going to end up winning. But I think Dan's going to hate me for this. I'll say the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's either going to be Jey Uso. No, it's going to be Chad Gable. Then Chad uses it to... Yeah, he's going to use it to come in and get Sami Zayn for that. See, Gilbert, this is my problem with the men's Money in the Bank. There's nobody in there that screams to me champion, like World Heavyweight or WWE champion. Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, LA Knight, Chad Gable, and then obviously they're still deciding to see who's going to be the... If Drew McIntyre is the guy that goes in there, Gilbert, I think CM Punk's going to screw him yet again. So I don't see that happening. And then they just announced that you can use that Money in the Bank for the mid-card titles, the US and the Intercontinental. I don't see any of these guys as WWE champion material, so I'll say Chad Gable wins it. He goes and he cashes in on Sami Zayn. I think Chad's very hot right now. I think LA Knight's gonna fight Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I think Jay's on the poster for Money in the Bank, so I think that's too obvious, so I don't see him winning it. And again, Drew McIntyre, if he wins tonight, I think CM Punk will screw him over. So I'll have that. On the women's ladder match, I'll go Chelsea Green Chelsea Green. I think right now she's kind of red hot. Tiffany Stratton is too, but I think she's still a little bit young. I'll go Chelsea Green on that side. And then obviously I already gave you Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline. I think Solo Sikoa should pin Cody Rhodes and set up a championship match for SummerSlam. And then your tribal chief makes his return, Gilbert.
Well said, Fernando.
That was a lot. I apologize.
No, but yeah, I had a Wi-Fi issue, so I just fixed it, so I'm back. But yeah, honestly, you're right about the whole men's side. I don't know who to pick, but I guess if it's McIntyre's in there, he'll be the obvious. But I wouldn't mind Jey Uso, but like you mentioned, also obvious.
When you put him on the poster, like what is that supposed to tell me?
Yeah,
like that's supposed to tell me that
it's not gonna. I don't see him becoming a champion in the future. But
no. But he can cash it in for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, that's what the
yeah. They said that now you can cash him into the. So that's what Dan and I were talking about. Then what the hell's the point?
What do you want to do that for? Okay.
Yeah. So I think Chad Gable wins it. He'll cash it in on Sami Zayn, and that's how he'll get his Intercontinental Championship. So all right. I think that's the way they might do it. Because the other guys, like I said, LA Knight's gonna fight Logan Paul regardless at SummerSlam. So there's no point of him winning it. And I think Drew's gonna get screwed by CM Punk. So that's kind of the way I see it right now, Gilbert. But yeah, you got any predictions or?
No, I'll just go off of yours. But
all right,
I would not mind seeing Jey Uso go.
It's just me, Oos. Day one, it's just me, Oos. Yeah, you're trying to cause some wind.